Hi, I'm Ben Ran, and this is The Advance, a short weekly podcast about the real logistics of grassroots gigging. This week, we're going to be getting into the subject that can be a bit awkward for newer bands, and that's money. Specifically, we're going to be looking at how bands actually get paid for their gigs at grassroots level, because in my experience, this is one of the most misunderstood parts of the whole process. Now, I've been in bands and organised gigs as a venue owner and promoter, so believe me when I tell you that this number is real. In one independent survey, only 16% of musicians said they were paid on time and in full for their gigs. That's 16%. And in my experience, the cause is almost never theft. That's the band and the venue never properly agreed to the deal timeline in the first place, and the stress could all have been avoided. However, I have seen new bands agree to deals without fully understanding what they've signed up for, and then they wonder why the numbers don't add up on the way home. So let's fix that. There are 5 main deal types, and we're going to go through all of them today. And by the end, you'll know exactly what you're agreeing to before you agree to it. So number 1, the guarantee. It's the most simple deal in music. A fixed fee agreed in advance, paid regardless of how many people walk through the door. 50 people or 5, the amount is owed. The venue takes on all of the risk on a quiet night, which is exactly why guarantees are the hardest deal to get when you're starting out. From the venue side, offering a guarantee to a band with no proven draw is a bet made with someone else's confidence. Here's the benchmark most bands have never heard of, and it matters. The Musicians Union suggests actually a minimum of £167.16 per musician for a group performance in a pub or club of up to 3 hours. For a 4-piece, that's around 668 quid for the night. Now, plenty of grassroots venues offer about £100 to £400 for newer acts, and sometimes that's generally all the room can support. That's the reality of grassroots music, but you should know the benchmark before you say yes, because you can't negotiate a number you've never heard of. So when should you push for a guarantee? Whenever you have costs, travel, accommodation, hired gear, the more it costs for you to get to the show, the more important a floor becomes. If the venue won't do a guarantee, ask for a minimum door split instead. So next up is the door split, the deal you'll most often get early on. The band gets a percentage of ticket money, no floor, no ceiling. Same band, same deal, same room. The only difference is who turned up. That's the door split. You carried the risk, but you also keep the upside. Splits vary. 50-50 is common for newer acts. 60-40, 70-30 come with a proven draw. But watch the second variable, because a high percentage of a low ticket price can be very little money. 70% of £3 on the door, 60 cap room is not a payday, it's a petrol receipt. Before you agree to a door split, confirm 4 things. The exact percentage and what it applies to. Advance tickets only or on the door cash too. Whether the support acts share your split or they have their own deal. Who counts the door? And when do you settle? And whether booking fees come out before or after the split is calculated. Every one of these has caused an argument at a merch table somewhere, usually about midnight, whilst you're all trying to load out. Number 3 is the guarantee plus percentage. Now this is the grown-up deal, and honestly, as a venue owner, it's the one I think is fairest to both sides. You get a guaranteed floor, the venue covers its costs, and once the ticket money passes an agreed break-even point, everything above it gets split. Here is the deal structure most bands don't know to ask for, a guarantee plus a percentage of everything above the venue's break even. If nobody comes, you're protected by the floor. If you promote hard and pack the room, you share the win. The venue covers its cost either way. Everyone's incentive points the same direction, sell the show out. If you've got any proven draw, this is the deal to push for instead of a straight door split. One warning, this deal lives or dies with the break even number being agreed for in writing. If the threshold is vague, the settlement will be too. 2 quick ones. Buyout. The buyout is an all-inclusive fee, common for function bands, corporate events, and private hire. Certainty in, ceiling on, reliable money, often paid in advance of the night. Just confirm what all-inclusive actually includes and what happens if the event overruns. Next up, merch isn't specifically a deal type, but often can be the difference between covering your costs and actually going home with a surplus. At grassroots level, under about 500 capacity, venues won't ask to take a cut, so the game is purely logistics. Tell the venue you're selling when you confirm the show, get a table near the exit rather than the stage, bring a card reader, because cash-only tables bleed money right now. Have someone at the table the second your song ends, because that's when people want to go buy. If it's over 1,000 capacity, ask for the merch cut up front, so it can be about 10 to 25%, normal and negotiable. So whatever the deal, this is the part that actually decides whether you get paid. Before the show, agree 4 things. the deal type, the exact amount or percentage, when payment happens, is it on the night, 7 days, 14 days, how it happens, cash transfer platform, and who you contact if it doesn't arrive. Then put it all in an email, not a contract, an email, 2 lines confirming what was said. A grassroots, that's enough. And it changes everything, because the difference between a I owe you 400 quid and just confirming the 400 quid agreed in your email on the 12th is difference between an argument and just a friendly reminder. And if payment is late, sometimes it will be, just go in polite first. I'll tell you what it looks like from the other side of the bar. Most late payments at this level isn't someone dodging you. It's an exhausted person doing the books for a venue that's had 4 shows in a week and something just accidentally falls through the cracks. A calm message with the show date, the amount and the due date resolves almost all of this. If you start getting shirty straight away and open with a threat, your band will get paid but probably won't be asked back. The last thing, knowing the deal types is half the job. The other half is actually keeping track of what every gig actually earned and cost you, because a lot of bands aren't doing that. Fees land in different accounts, split happens informally, expenses live in 4 different phones, and if it comes tax time or even just to look at how your gig broke even, it's an absolute struggle. It's one of the reasons we built Stage Portal. When a venue confirms a booking through it, the payment is in the record from day one. Both sides can see exactly what was agreed. The venue marks it as settled when it's paid, and the income lands right in your expenses view, right next to that cost of that show. At any point, you can see your whole gig calendar, what it's earned and what it's cost. No more spreadsheets, no more scrolling, no more old messages. You can get a free 30-day trial, no card required. There's a link in the description, along with a full written guide and worked examples of all the expenses. If this helped, check out the other videos in the Advanced series, and I'll see you at the next one.